happens. Okay, here we go.
To our
Test run.
See,
info.
we're not professional at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to another Tuesday night live stream, Disc Golf Central Live, episode number 10. My name is Tori. I am your co-host.
I am the other co-host, Craig.
We are live.
And tonight we are super excited
ladies
to be
and gentlemen,
joined by Kona Panis and Colten, Montgomery, the Hot KoCo Tour, live from somewhere in Arkansas, I'm assuming, getting ready for the Jonesboro this weekend. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're stoked to have you guys.
Yes, thank you. We're actually in the Planet Fitness parking lot.
There you
in
go.
Jonesboro.
Yes.
There you
And
go.
thank you
In
guys for
Jonesboro,
having
Planet
us.
Fitness in Jonesboro. Anybody in the Jonesboro area that wants to go knock on the door of the
Oh
Freak
my gosh.
van,
No.
they just
Please don't.
gave away their location.
Yes.
Thanks. Now we're gonna have creepers.
Classic mistake. But welcome, guys. We are, again, so excited to have you. We understand we are your first podcast, so we're honored for that. We're pretty laid back here. We always start with the same thing. We just want to know from you guys individually, what is your disc golf story?
My disc golf story started 12 years ago in 2007. My brother, who is 3 years older than me, he went to a high school in my hometown of Longmont, Colorado, and literally right across the street, you're sitting in class and you look out and there's a disc golf course right across the street.
Nice.
So some of his friends introduced him to the sport, and then I went throughout 2017. I went to a couple tournaments with him and my mom, watched him compete, and got a couple discs throughout the 2007 season. Didn't play any tournaments, and then 2008 was my first year in the PDGA. I played a handful of, novice. I don't even know if novice is a division anymore, but a couple novice tournaments. Played a handful of tournaments in 2008. Driving all across the state with my brother. And then 2009, it kind of took off. I played my very first world championships, which is kind of crazy, after a year and a half of truly playing the sport. Found myself in Kansas City, Missouri, where my brother and I both competed in the junior division. And then since then, it's kind of taken over our lives. My brother, he's actually the sales manager at Discmania USA. My parents are involved, very supportive, so it's kind of like a family affair right now. And yeah, Frisbees take over the Montgomery's lives. So
Awesome.
That's
Very cool.
And then, so if you look at my PDGA, I have a really PDGA number. It's 27832. It actually bumps me up above a lot of people. So when I tie, a lot of people, I always go to the top. People are like, how do you have such a low number? And my dad actually got my PDGA number when I was a baby. He knew. He's like, I gotta get it when she's young because she's gonna have a low PDGA number. And now they're in the 100,000s.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when I got mine, I was in the 50s, and I was like, oh man, I'm late to the game. And now I'm like, oh, I'm an OG.
I know. But I first got started when my dad and our neighbor went out to a small course, Ken Carl Ranch, I believe, in Littleton, Colorado, with ultimate frisbees, and they played a little 9-holer and got hooked, and they were obsessed with it. And then they slowly taught my brother and I when we were really young, 5, 6 years old, out with tiny frisbees, throwing them around. And he actually went to Am World and played, I believe, with David Wiggins.
Okay.
And lost to him, obviously. And he kind of lost the love for it. I really didn't care for it. I was involved with team sports. And then high school, I found it again, and I absolutely fell in love with it again. And, went to Phoenix Ladies Open. I won my first advanced tournament, and then I reached out to Innova. First I reached out to Prodigy, and they turned me down. Will Schustrick was like, you don't have enough experience yet. You're still really new. come back to us in a year. And I was like, dang. And I'm like, okay, maybe Innova. I've thrown Innova forever. I only reached out to Prodigy because I liked one disc. And Jonathan Poole messaged me back, and he's like, oh, we'd love to have you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, heck yeah, I got sponsored by them. And then
Awesome.
I can actually say that I gave my dad a job, kind of, because he ended up getting a job with Innova, and then I graduated high school, and I was like, you know, kind of in between if I should go after disc golf and travel, or if I should, you know, go to college, do the, you know, normal thing, and I actually chose disc golf. I'll go to college later on, but I was like, okay, in the moment, this sounds awesome. And then within a month, my dad got a job with Innova, and we moved to California, and ever since then, I've been touring. And then I met this guy, and then we went on tour, and then here we are.
Awesome. I mean, those are two, you know, for people out there watching, like, it just seems like it's been a journey, and I think a lot of people can get discouraged, and they're trying to make a go of it. They're trying to, you know, test their ability, and we talked a little bit pre-stream, and we'll get to it again about the regional pro, people like that. You know, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of dedication. It sounds like you guys have learned that firsthand. So, you know, you're talking about going on tour, you're traveling the entire nation playing disc golf, which is cool. And if people want to check out your digs there in the Sprinter van, we've got a link in the description to a video you guys did with Ultra World, kind of just running down how you guys built your van and doing all that. So we won't really get into that a whole lot, but tell us a little bit about what it was like to realize maybe the moment you knew that you could do what you're doing now, you know, because when you started, I'm sure you didn't think, oh, someday I'm going to go travel the country and play disc golf full time. When was that moment, and what was that like to have that realization?
Yours is easy.
Well, in 2014, this is like the very, very beginning. 2014, I went to Milford, Michigan, and won the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships, which is like, it still is a dream come true, but that's something that I always like worked for. I always like wanted to be a world champion of some sort, you know, amateur, or I guess junior, you know, as much as people don't credit that. That was something when I was younger, I always wanted to be a junior world champion or an AM nationals champion. And in 2013, I took second at Junior Worlds. And I was in a tough position. I was like, man, do I go pro and start accepting money? Or do I stay amateur one more year and chase my dream? Well, I ended up staying amateur. I played pro. I just didn't accept cash.
Sure.
Right.
In 2014, I won amateur nationals. And then after that, I went pro. And I think it was, probably, I mean, I always thought that, like, I had the skills, even for as young as I was, to, like, at least go try to tour. But in 2017, I think it was, I won my first A-tier, the 303 Open in Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some top pros there. Jeremy Colling was there. Austin Turner was there when he was at the top of his game. Nico Acastro, a very good regional pro, Joe Revere. And I was able to take down that A-tier. And then at that point, I kind of like looked at my mom and dad and I was like, hey, I can do this. And I put more hard work in, and I got the opportunity late in 2017 to drive the Discmania RV. And I quit my day job, which was Ace Hardware, and I haven't looked back since. So
Nice.
That's awesome. That's cool. And Kona, how about you?
Yeah.
So when I first really got into like competitive disc golf, it was just like, you know, on the weekends going out, like driving to Arizona with my mom, or going to small tournaments with my dad. And it wasn't until we moved to California when it was like kind of becoming like a real thing where it's like, wow, like we're kind of moving for disc golf. Like we're not moving there for me to get a job at McDonald's. Like we're moving to make this like a family affair, and it is a family affair. Mom works for Hero Discs, Dad works for Innova. I work for an Innova factory store. But it turned into, okay, I'm going to practice every single day. I'm picking out, the NTs, the majors, and I'm hitting those, and then, practicing every other day. And then it wasn't until, I would drive with my dad. It made it easy because he's the media marketing director for Innova, and so he would always have to go to those big events. So, of course, it made it cheaper and easy if I went with him,
Nice.
and he drove me around, and it made it, yes, I had it good. And then it wasn't until last year, Colten and I had just become really good friends. And at one point after, I believe, Memorial, I went back home. I played Daniel Bow Memorial, and then I was kind of like, I don't really know if I'm going to tour the rest of the year, if I'm just going to chill. And he actually was like, I talked to Discmania. You could come in the van, in the RV, if you want, and tour with us for a bit. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, my parents were like, yeah, go for it, have fun, go do your thing. And we had like a small tour, and it was awesome. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love touring. But yeah, and then it wasn't until this year we started dating, and we're like, we need our own space where nobody else can come. And it was fun touring with Bart, but we needed our own space too. And then he got the van, and then saved our money, and Innova has been a huge help. I get my tournaments paid for, at least most of them, and I'm getting a collab disc later on, and so that's going to help a lot too. So it makes it easier to tour, and then our Hot KoCo Combos add to people help us on the road to keep us on the road. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Real quick, do you want to talk about that? Because we do have a place down in the description where people can go sign up. Do you just want to give like a quick overview what that is for people who might not know?
Mm-hmm.
Hot KoCo Combo Hot KoCo Tour is our tour. Hot KoCo Combo are the events we run. We call it a combo because it's a Innova Discmania thing. Combination. So when you sign up for the event, you get one Innova disc, one Discmania disc, and then the KoCo is Kona, KO, and then Colten, CO.
Right.
So that's kind of our Hot KoCo Combo. It's more geared towards beginners. However, we do have 3 divisions. We offer experienced, beginner, and women. And we host, I don't know, I think we have like 15 of them throughout the whole entire year. We've already done maybe 5 or 6. And it's not a 2-disc challenge. You don't have to play with the 2 discs that you get in the player's pack. It's just solely that. It's just a player's pack. We've got handmade trophies that we've got for the top 3 place finishers in each division, and we thought it'd be cool to do something together because, we feel like sometimes people don't want to go to a Paul Macbeth thing because they feel intimidated. Paul or Eagle or these people, they're the best in the world, not discrediting ourselves, but we're not at the level of Paul and all that now. So we feel like it's a little bit more relatable for just the standard person, average Joe, to come out to our event, and hopefully they feel like they can interact with us, they can talk to us, they can ask us any questions, and then we always do a pre-event clinic and let people ask questions, all that type of stuff. So
Sweet.
That's kind of like the gist of our Hot KoCo Combos. Did I forget anything?
No, that was pretty good.
Awesome.
So
Very cool. Kona, I think it's funny that you say that, your journey was kind of a family affair. I think a lot of people maybe don't have the support that you guys had when you decided to take it to the next level, and I think that's really cool. Just as I was listening, I know that you said that you had reached out to Prodigy first, and they had said no. Colten, had you had any other runs with any other companies, or just kind of with Discmania?
No, so this is interesting.
I opened a can of worms here.
No, not bad. I don't even know what year it was. Maybe 2013. I reached out to DGA.
Okay.
About a sponsorship, and this was, I don't know, midway through the season, And they emailed me back and said, at the beginning of the season, they set their roster, and that's their roster they have all year. They don't add new players halfway through, but that they would keep an eye on me. And I was like, okay, cool. I kind of like brushed it off, like, okay, I've heard that before. People say, oh, we'll keep an eye on you, and then you never hear anything.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially being an amateur player. So didn't think much of it, and come 2014, I had an email from DGA wanting me to join their Arm Farm team, which is like their amateur team. And
Arm Farm?
Arm Farm.
Interesting.
Their Arm Farm
That's
team.
creative.
I mean, that's what it was years ago. I don't know if that's still a thing, but they call it the Arm Farm team.
Okay.
So obviously, for my first sponsor, I was like, heck yeah, let's do this.
Sure.
And that allowed me to throw Discraft as well, which I was already very familiar with.
Yep.
I threw DGA, obviously, throughout the 2014 season, and that's what I won amateur nationals with.
Right there in Milford, in Discraft's backyard.
Yep, which was really cool. At one point, there was talks of being on both Discraft and DGA, but kind of tough to be on two teams at the same time. And I remember on the way home from Milford, I had an email from Discmania's CEO or president. His name was Erno. And I love Erno. We still talk all the time. He's a great guy. But I remember he reached out to me and asked if I had a team, if I was already on a team, or if I was looking for a sponsorship, which was funny because my brother was on Discmania at the time.
Okay.
And he asks me, do you have a team? And I told him, yeah, I'm on DGA. But like, give me a little bit of time to think. Like, I don't want to like tell you no right now, but just let me process everything that's happened and I'll get back to you.
Sure.
Well, I wanted to stay loyal to DGA. Like, I just won a major championship throwing their plastic, so clearly it worked. So I didn't want to just like kick them to the curb, because I felt like at the time that was pretty big, even for an amateur. That was like pretty good spotlight for DGA.
Yeah.
So I stayed with DGA through the 2014 season, and then my brother and I were in Texas visiting some family in the very beginning of 2015, and my brother let me throw some Discmania discs, and I was like, wow, I kind of like this stuff. This plays nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I emailed Erno again and asked him, hey, is there any chance that we can reignite what, last year? And he said, we'd be more than happy to have you. So I ended up leaving DGA. I went to Discmania, which, my brother and I have always tried to be on the same team disc golf-wise throughout our whole career. And we've done a pretty good job of it. So I moved to Discmania. Him and I were both on Discmania for a short time until he kind of gave up his team spot to me, and then he started working for them, so kind of tough to work for them and play at the same time. So since about the beginning of 2015, I've been with Discmania, and without them, we wouldn't be sitting here in this van
having this podcast.
We wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for Discmania.
Cool.
So huge kudos to them, and shout out to my brother.
Cool.
Very cool. So I
ahead,
asked that question. I asked that question not to bring up the past, but kind of to segue, because I think right now there's, even with social media, there's kind of this big blow up between, whether it's Discraft Underground or the Innova Rock Stars now coming out. There's this big push, and everybody is trying, it seems like, trying to get sponsored, even if it's just that they're on the street team or whatever, just to be able to say that they're sponsored. We talked a little bit a few weeks ago with Dave Feldberg about that, but what advice would you give to, that 17, 18-year-old kid that maybe was you back then, trying to pursue this as a lifetime thing or a full-time gig, what advice would you give to them as they're testing the waters, I guess you could say?
Well, I'm an interesting aspect of that because when I got sponsored, Jonathan and them looked towards my social media before they looked towards my actual play. Because I was getting like super into posting. I was my dad and I, he's crazy photographer, videographer guy, and so he was always helping me out. We were always going out filming, taking pictures, and so it's like I brought a different aspect to the disc golf scene that like nobody had really seen before, and so it was different. So I guess, you know, in this day and age, to get on like the Innova Rockstar team, it's mostly social media. It's posting, it's stories, it's being active, it's getting your name out there. And so I guess if I were to give any advice to any person who's, you know, is getting really good at disc golf, is loving it, wants to maybe do this and get on like a Rockstar team or something small like that, it's, you know, get your social media working, get your name out there, because that's, instead of, you know, of course people are going to see your name on like the roster of the PDGA, you know, playing a tournament, but you know, they won't know who you are. So maybe just, you know, getting on those social medias.
I definitely agree. Social media is huge. I think it's hard to get sponsored at all, no matter what level. If you have no social media at all, I don't think that a company's really gonna sponsor you solely based on your play.
Sure.
I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but for the most part, I think that you need to have a strong social media presence. But that's not to discredit like you going out and playing. And it's also not just about playing. I know Discmania, I've been a part of the Discmania Combines before, which is like essentially a team tryout. But that is, we don't solely look at how you play or how your skill set. And I would assume this is the same for all companies across the board. We like to see, are you active in your club? Do you run a club? Do you do clinics? Do you teach kids how to play disc golf? What do you do to grow the sport? Do you want a pro shop? Different things like that. So it's not, I don't think that you necessarily, especially for like disc golf or Discmania's like ambassador team or the rock stars or the underground, I don't think that they're necessarily looking at play. It's more of what do you bring to the table. Like, what do you do for the game of disc golf? So,
that's awesome. I mean, that's such a cool thing about the disc golf community at large, I think. I mean, this is our 10th episode, so we've been at this for 10 weeks, and prior to that, we made a run at having a retail store in Central Michigan, and this is our way of trying to grow the sport, and it really is just, you know, us doing something that we love. But there's that underlying thing. We've been really surprised. Everybody we've reached out to has been more than willing, even excited to come on the show, and I think it's because there's that underlying thing throughout all of the disc golf community that everybody just has that drive to grow the sport. And that's so unique and so cool, and it really ties every disc golfer together, really. And that's cool that a company would prioritize that to at least the same degree as level of play. That's really sweet.
For sure.
Craig, did you have anything else?
No, I didn't know if you had another question there lined up or what, because I kind of cut you off there.
Oh no, that's fine. So what I was gonna say before you rolled into that question was, you know, Craig and I we're from Michigan, so we're both big discraft guys. We've both been throwing discraft since we started because the stores around where we lived when we started playing, lots of discraft. But I just told Craig maybe a week ago that he needed to go pick up a PD Freak, because I used to have one back in the day and I lost it. And I just have to wonder, is the van the Freak because of the PD Freak? Is there a tie-in there? Because the van is called the Freak, I know.
All right, so here's a little backstory, which I think it's really cool. So last year, the Discmania RV that I drove around, which was previously driven by Avery Jenkins, Jamie Thomas, handful of people. It was on the road for about 5 years. They called that the Maniac.
Okay.
So
yeah,
for those of you that don't know, back in the day before Discmania started calling their discs like a PD2, a P2, a DD.
Right.
They had names.
Yeah, there was. I threw a Gremlin. I threw a Freak. I threw I threw one. I can't remember what the other one was called. Whatever the TD used to be called.
The Fever.
Yeah, the Fever. Yep.
Yep. So, the Maniac was a P1 putter.
Right.
And
I think I
don't
had one
know.
of those too, actually.
They're sweet discs. But I don't know who named it, how it came about, but they just called that RV the Maniac. So that's what it was kind of known by around tour. And last year, one of our really close friends, and he's actually on Team Discmania, Jeff Corns.
Jeff Jorns.
He purchased Paul Macbeth's old truck and trailer, and he got it wrapped in Discmania, and we call that the Chaos. It's known as the Chaos on the road.
Oh, I think I threw one of those too.
Yep, that's a PD2. PD2 Chaos.
It was too overstable for me.
Yep, they are. So I kind of wanted to stick with the theme of having, going from the Maniac to the Psycho, or the Chaos.
Yeah.
And the PD is my favorite disc, hence Freak.
Yep. Yep.
So I've got a couple really great friends. Shout out to Manny Trujillo and Tom Hamilton back in Colorado, who killed the artwork on the van.
It looks
which
awesome.
If you haven't seen it, it's like a zombie freak type thing.
Yep.
And I actually got very lucky. I went to the DMV to get license plates, and I knew I wanted to get custom ones, putting all the hard work into the van. I didn't want to just drive around with plain old license plates.
Yeah.
And I had a list of about 30 different options. I'm thinking there's no way I'm going to the DMV and they're going to have Freak, F-R-E-A-K, available. So I had all these different options, and my mom and I sat down and we asked, hey, can we see if this license plate's available? And the lady said, yep, it's available. So we actually have Freak license plates, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
That is sweet. I literally just told Craig probably last week before we even knew you guys were going to be for sure on the show that I used to have an S-Line PD and I loved it and I threw it. I don't even remember where I lost it, but it's been long gone. And I was like, dude, you need to get one, and I need to get one again because they're just great discs. So.
How about this? You both send me your address after the show, and I'll send you both a Freak.
Dude, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
What a guy. That would be awesome.
That would be sweet.
What a guy.
Yep.
What a guy.
That's all you have to do. Send me an address, and I'll ship you guys some.
Will do.
All right.
Appreciate it.
So let's talk a little bit. Turn the corner a little bit. We got a couple more things to talk about. We've already been on for about a half an hour, so we're doing pretty good. Let's turn a corner here. People who sit in seats like me and Craig, we're average disc golfers. We like to say we're #AM3 for life, and that's just kind of we understand our limitations.
There's the lights.
There went the timeout.
The lights we talked about. That's RV life for you folks.
Van life. Baby.
Perfect segue.
Van life, yeah.
Perfect segue. Because what I was just about to bring up is talk a little bit about. What are the challenges and what are the cool things that people like us wouldn't get or wouldn't see about life on the road? Because I mentioned pre-stream, I grew up with a family. My mom and dad traveled all the time, and people were always like, oh man, you go to all these amazing places all the time every weekend. It must be so great. But behind the scenes, I knew that it was exhausting for them. So talk about a little bit what people might not know about what it's like to live on tour.
One part, at least for me, I have to take medication every day. I have a thyroid disease. It's medication. I have to get it refilled almost every month. That is a pain in the butt to do on the road, because it's like you got to make sure you keep the prescription bottle, all like the information, and you take it to the new pharmacy, and they have to transfer it from the other one from the state all the way over there. And then if you forget that, then you have to find where you were last. And there was one time last year, it was just a pain to find out where my meds were transferred last, and that was stressful as heck. But that's probably one of the stress outs for me. Keeping ourselves healthy. It's sometimes, we're in a weird climate right now. Like, it's humid hot, and like heat rash. You get random stuff when you're on the road. It gets too hot in here. Our stuff doesn't work. It gets hot. You get different stuff on the road. You have to deal with it. What about you?
I guess this is gonna sound weird, and I don't mean it in a bad way, because it's not, for the most part. It's just something that I think people take for granted. You live in a house, and you know where you're gonna go every single day. You know where you're gonna sleep. You know what you're gonna eat. Say your favorite fast food place. You know where it is.
Right.
Nothing's ever the same for us. We every night where are we going to park tonight? Where are we going to park the van to sleep? Where's a safe spot? We want to go out to somewhere to eat. It's not like we just know where it is.
Sure.
So it's a little bit weird, especially coming straight off the off season. You're stayed put somewhere for a couple months, and then all of a sudden you're just bouncing all across the country, not really knowing anything. So that's a little bit different at this point. Kind of used to it, but something that I think that most people probably don't think about, but it's definitely something that's there.
Yeah, here's one just from watching you guys' YouTube videos. You had mentioned showers every day. That's a struggle, and you mentioned going to Planet Fitness for a free shower. And I mean, I'm sure some tournaments you have places that people lend you. You can stay at our place and use our restroom and whatever, but I'm sure that's a struggle too, of finding places like that, or places to take care of yourself throughout the country, wherever you may be.
Yeah, we always try and find somewhere that's open 24/7. Usually Walmart's pretty good. You have to look up online usually if you're allowed to park there, but it's because we need to pee, and we can freaking go outside and whatever, but I can't do that. And so usually we do the Walmarts. We can go in 24/7, or our favorite place is the Flying J, as funny as that sounds.
Heck yeah.
We love their coffee. They're open 24/7. Showers, if we need to pay for a shower, and restrooms 24/7. So that's huge for us.
And they're typically pretty safe. Most people aren't going to go to a parking lot full of semi-truck drivers and try and break in. So we typically feel pretty safe at truck stops.
Especially breaking into the Freak, Nobody's going to mess with you guys in that.
Who knows what's on the
Fingers
other side of that wrap,
Yeah.
So I got to ask, I moved from Michigan to Texas about a year ago, and you guys just completed the Texas swing. Did you guys get to experience Buc-ee's while you were down here?
We did.
Oh, man. Tori's been talking about Buc-ee's for the last 6 months, and I'm so sick of hearing about it.
Dude,
Tell me about this place. Is it awesome?
I thought I went to one last year in my Texas swing because I spent a month there last year. And I swear I went to a Buc-ee's. But we went to one a couple weeks ago, and I walked in. I'm like, I definitely didn't go. Because if I went to a place like this, I would have remembered.
Oh, man.
It's like one of those things where it's like, I need a wallet. Oh, Buc-ee's wallet. Okay, I need a phone case. Okay, Buc-ee's phone case. It has literally everything.
Everything
in the world.
You can buy Costa Del Mar sunglasses at Buc-ee's. I've been telling Craig, it's like you can get home goods. You can go buy a cast iron skillet at Buc-ee's. There's nothing they don't have. It's amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
Literally, every weekend when Tori and his wife will go away, he texts me a picture of the sign, and he's like, "Guess where we stopped?"
Oh my gosh. You're dude.
I think it's very cool. However, I think it's very excessive that they have 100 gas pumps.
Oh, for sure.
No one's ever using 100 gas pumps.
But they're
that gas
always
full.
full.
Has never seen.
They're always full.
You've seen a Buc-ee's with every pump full?
Every single time I go there. Yeah, I gotta wait for a pump.
That's crazy.
It's insane. People down here love their Buc-ee's. I got indoctrinated real quick.
Their bathrooms are A1.
Oh yes. I just found out that that they have a system where if you go and use the actual stall in the bathroom, somebody immediately comes and cleans it when you're done for the next person. So
Really?
yeah, just a little paid advertisement for Buc-ee's right
Man,
here. We're just
Rachel
gonna-
and I are
we're just gonna
booking a
talk
trip
about-
to Texas just to come to Buc-ee's, man.
You gotta
We are-
experience it once in your life.
We're heading south just to go to Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's
Wow.
and Whataburger.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Huh.
So to wrap up here, let's talk a little bit about what the rest of the season holds for you guys. I know we have something that you want to announce, Kona. Kind of, you heard it here first, kind of a thing. Super pumped about that, to be able to break some news to the disc golf world. But we want to hear too. You know, obviously going into Jonesboro last week, Colten, you had great success here last year. You both did. So talk a little bit about this upcoming weekend, and then what's going forward from there.
Last year we played Jonesboro and I froze my butt off. It snowed. I remember looking at Jennifer Allen and being like, I think I'm going to walk off. I think this is it. I'm done. I didn't pack enough clothes. I
Oh,
don't know
man.
why I thought it wouldn't snow. And she's like, have some of my macchiato, sweetie. We'll get through this.
What a gal.
And whatever, it was just miserable. And so I think this year it's going to be a lot better. But we've been taking an hour out of every day, doing some practice putting, trying to get excited for the event. But, you know, this course, it's so hilly, and it really takes it out of me, honestly. I feel like we have to take a nap after every round we play here. But we're really excited. I'm really excited for this weekend. I'm hoping to bounce back. It's been a rough season for me. Off an injury and not playing as much this off season, so getting back in the swing of things, trying to get my confidence back, and hopefully this is it.
I'm also very excited. Being from Colorado, I'm pretty used to throwing up and down hills.
Sure.
I
Hills.
also think that this course is kind of like a big arm course. Like if you can throw far and stay in the fairway, I think you're going to have an advantage. And obviously, I would consider Jonesboro last year probably top 3 finishes that I had all year. I turned 25 on Friday, so I get to start off 25 with a bang.
Yeah, good vibes.
So yeah, I'm really excited to hopefully feed off the energy from last year and the momentum from last year, and keep practicing hard this week and see what comes Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you, Biggie?
I mentioned it on one of my Instagram posts, but it's like, I don't think anyone really read into it. It's so funny. I was expecting someone to be like, whoa, what? Oh my gosh. But absolutely no one noticed it. But I just got picked up by Pound Bags.
Nice.
It's funny, on Facebook, they actually just posted my actual bag, and they said, oh, guess who this is? And everybody's like, oh, Drew Gibson, and all these random, people, and I'm just sitting here kind of giggling, like, you guys have, like, no idea. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get it this week, but, yeah, it's a huge pickup for me. I'm super excited. Colten's sponsored by Grip Equipment, so we're kind of competitive on that side, but I'm super excited to get my own custom bag. It has my own logo on it, which is really cool, and people will be able to
Team
buy
Grip.
it as well, so it's cool. Hey!
Yeah, baby.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm sitting in a PD.
Yay!
Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, 3 on 1. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Sorry, Kona.
You told
Hey,
I got
you
mine
just
as a
haven't come
gift,
out yet.
so-
You haven't had a chance to check it out, so once it comes out.
But Pound Bags, you get to do your own custom bag if you would like. They're super comfortable. They have a lot of storage. They actually have its own water bottle. What do you call it?
Reservoir.
Yeah, water reservoir.
Yeah, so that's like a Camelback, and
Right.
so that's super cool. I don't have to carry a water
Don't get me
bottle.
wrong. I've looked at the Pound Bags and they look awesome. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. So when I first got into disc golf, everybody that was really hardcore wanted the Mystery Ranch Golf Mahal, and I'm pretty
Yep.
sure it's like is it there's somebody that made that who's connected to Pound. I'm pretty sure, or something. I don't know. There was a whole big forum thread in 2015 or whenever they came out. There's some connection there, I think. But yeah, don't get me wrong. The Pounds look sweet. The Octothorpe, yeah. I mean, I got this probably 3-4 years ago, and the Octothorpe came out quite soon after that, and similar-ish price range. I was kind of like, I like my grip.
Yeah, no, I just pulled up the picture of your new bag, Kona, and I like the color scheme on it. Those are good colors. Are those because you're a big Kansas City Royals fan? Is that what it is?
No, sir.
Let's go Cardinals.
Oh, man.
Yikes.
Come
Oh,
on.
yikes.
I will say, my football team is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
All the way through since I could walk.
Right there.
Yeah, baby.
Chiefs
There we
kingdom.
go, Colton.
I have a Chiefs hat hanging right there, and I've got a
Perfect.
Patrick Mahomes jersey in the closet.
Dude,
Perfect.
Mahomes is legit. Mahomes is a freaking animal. That guy is insane.
Yes.
So cool.
So anyway, not to take away from your announcement, we will definitely get a picture of that posted out and help you spread the word as soon as, I mean, I guess that was the official announcement, but
Yeah.
as soon as the official announcement really starts rolling out, we'll pump that. Anything else exciting coming out? Anything new events? Anything you guys want to talk about?
Hey, you touched a little bit on the collab disc.
Yes.
So the factory store, last year they had my Kona Shrikes, Kona Destroyers. It's kind of a collab thing. They do it for me to help support me. I don't have to do it for myself, send it out myself. They totally help me out with that. They do it all for me. And it's helped for me on the road, and they just picked out the discs, I believe. I'm doing some Star Destroyers and some Star Sidewinders, so you get the experienced people throwing the Destroyers. Everybody could use a Destroyer.
Yep.
And then the Sidewinder, super straight, super beginner friendly disc.
Yep.
So they'll get a choice of one of those or both of those if they want. Whatever else.
Yeah.
But that's coming out soon. My 2019 stamp's really cool. My dad put a lot of work into it. He always does my stamps and stuff. So keep an eye out for that. I'll definitely post on my Instagram, on my Facebook.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And for myself, I'm going to be a really big tease right now. But I have something very excited coming through Discmania. I don't want to say a day or a month because things are bound to change.
Right.
But I'm very excited, and social media outlets, Instagram, Facebook, you guys will be the first people to know about it. So sorry I'm such a tease, but I promise you here in the next month or two, it'll be worth it to all you guys.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. This has been just absolutely awesome. Next time you guys make the Texas swing, hopefully we can connect again. Like I said, I think I said it pre-stream. I don't know if I actually have said it since we went live, but we met very briefly here in Houston, and I wish I could have stayed. We had a live stream that night, but you guys seem like awesome people. You guys are doing your thing. So tell the people out there that don't know where to find you on different outlets, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Just go ahead and throw everybody your information. We do have some of the information linked in the description, but if you mention anything that we don't have, we'll be sure to put it in there.
YouTube, we'll be posting our Hot KoCo Combo videos. Kona Panis Disc Golf, that's where all our vlogs also are going to be. Kona Panis Disc Golf on Facebook is all of the people who don't have Instagram. It's just all my stuff shared from Instagram to Facebook. It's also where we put our Hot KoCo Combo events. But our main Hot KoCo events, where you can find kind of all the events, signups, all of our info on that, our Hot KoCo page on Facebook, and then on Instagram, I have Kona_disc. That's where all my disc golf stuff is. Kona_paints. That's where all my paint stuff is. Kona_Panis. It's normal Kona Panis.
Just your normal. Yes.
All of a really good place also for Hot KoCo information is on KonaPanis.com.
More Kona Panis.
Yep. And I'm not that sophisticated with my social media, so you want to add me on Facebook, you can find me at Colten Montgomery. Colten with an E-N, not O-N.
Not O-N.
And on Instagram, cmonty35876.
Cool.
Perfect. Hey, real fast, Kona, you mentioned your paints. Last week we had Alicia Grace Schaefer on, and she paints. Do you want to just talk about your paintings real quick before we let you guys go?
Yeah, for sure.
So right now I'm taking commissions. I paint on the road. I literally have like a small setup table, and I sit on one of our 3-legged stools downstairs, And I do 5x7s for $50, 8x7s for $80, and 12x12s for $120. And you send me a picture. I do it all myself, and then I put it on my Kona Panis usually, and then I send it out to you, and it helps us on the road. I know it's only $50, whatever, but that $50 can buy us our next grocery.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Small way, and it's just I love painting. Also, it's just one of my many hobbies other than drawing on discs and stuff.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, we'll be sure to feature your Kona Paints Instagram on our story here in the next couple of days and send people your way. You have a much larger Instagram following than we do, but we'll do our part. So
yes.
But thank you guys again so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we can reconnect here on the stream later on in the season. Maybe starting next season whenever you guys are free. We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. It was nice meeting both you guys, and thank you a lot for letting us be on our first podcast. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. Awesome.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, best of luck this weekend and this season, and happy early birthday.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Yes. Alrighty.
Colton, and probably both of you. I'm putting you in my Grip 6 picks for U-Disc for sure. So play hard for me because I got to beat Craig. We're in a little head-to-head combo here.
He's already beating me by a lot overall throughout the season, so it is what it is.
Hey, well, like I say, don't get mad, get better.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
That's
right.
I can take that advice because I need that advice. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you again soon, and have a great weekend. And play hard, and we'll be rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
See ya.
Good one. There you go.
Your face is huge. Let me switch us back to the 2-shot. There we go.
That's not because of the camera. That's just my face is huge in general. So whatever. Man.
Sweet people. Really awesome.
Another great. Well, I was gonna say another great person, but another great group of people.
Yeah.
10 weeks in a row now. So, or 9 weeks. I guess the first week was just us, but
we're getting lucky. I mean, let's be real. We're getting lucky with these guests. People just keep trying to come on the stream. It's been great. It's been fun.
I think they all just one up each other too.
Yeah,
They all just take it to the next level. So I don't
we
know
got a
if
couple of PDs heading our way. How about that?
Hey,
fun times.
that's exciting stuff. I'm excited to check out. I've never thrown any Discmania. You and I had talked about it, but their letter number combo just always has confused me, and they're just. I've been confused, so I have steered clear of their stuff. But
fair enough.
Maybe this will be the turning point that I need to.
I think it will.
To get hooked.
I think it will. The PD is a sweet disc, and we've talked. We won't bore the people, but we've talked about how to fit a perfect spot in your bag. So I think it'll be sweet.
Yeah, I'll definitely always try out free plastic. That is a true statement. So I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted to talk about, or if you want to just talk quickly about our Grip 6 picks from last weekend and wrap it up. Well,
you took the
fairly uneventful. We both actually scored pretty well. That's our lowest point totals for both of us this whole season. We each had Ricky and Eagle. We each had Katrina Allen and Paige Pierce, and the only differences is you had Bradley Williams and James Conrad. I had Jessica Weiss and Paul Uleberry.
Paul second.
Yes. Eagle, of course, won, so we both got 0 points for that. Ricky got us 7 points. Paul got me 3 points for getting second. Jessica Weiss was the big scorer between the two of us, 15 shots off of the lead. Paige Pierce took the FPO, and Katrina Allen scored us each 1 point because she was one shot off the lead. Yeah. So I totaled 26 points this week. You totaled 30. I'm extremely happy with that. My 26 points, and 15 of those came from one player. Yeah, so I'll take that every week. I thought for sure they'd be reaching out saying, hey, we got a belt coming your way, but no luck yet. So total standings now, I am still trailing majorly. Even after my win this week, it was only a 4-point win. So I am still down 247 to 208 total.
Hey, closing the gap, though.
I've got some room to improve here this week, these next few weeks, actually. But yeah, that's what I got.
Sweet. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you so much for joining us. We were very fortunate to have Kona and Colten join us. It's been a great 10 weeks. We're looking forward to even better stuff to come. So, like this, share, check out all the links in the description, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.